Hello, gamer. Um, Unfortunately, everything is going wrong today. So I'm still waiting to get into the stupid fucking server. Yeah, because I just got home from having a lovely dinner, and then I turned on my computer and all of the key bindings in my little keypad were gone, and now I can't fucking get into the server. So I am just, uh, no, I can't do tomorrow because then I have work and I think I'll be too tired to do it. But I think within the next 15 minutes I should be able to get into the server because it was at 1,004 minutes ago and it's now at 600, so. But, you know, gotta entertain ourselves for a little bit. It is decreasing, so I don't know why so many people are trying to get into the server. Let's see. Ooh, I'm looking forward to it. Huh. Well, doesn't say that there's maintenance or whatever. So I don't know what's going on, bro. Whoa, what is this? Let me see. Oh boy. Very cool. It does look pretty scientific, if I say so myself. It reminds me of a scientific diagram. Oh yeah? Oh yeah, Shadowfell and very overlapping the material plane. Plane of Dreams. Woo. Awesome. Also really like the colors in the Astral Sea. We have... Was that the in-betweensy place? Fair enough. Mmm. Yeah, the word in-betweensy place with the clock tower. Yeah, that was awesome. I love that map. Well, I was at the convention I went to last week. I bought a handmade plushie of a little devil creature. They did have a oh no, I can't remember the name of the D&D monster, the cats with the with like the tentacles on their backs that kind of look like squid tentacles. Displacer beast, yeah. Which is very cool, but you know, it was a lot of money, so I was just like, I'm gonna think about it for a little bit, and then when I came back, it was sold. So I missed my chance, but I got a little devil beastie, and I like it a lot. And right now, it's just it has little magnets in its paws, and so it's just sitting holding my microphone standard. My microphone stand. Yeah, I'll take a picture for you, actually, while we're waiting. But, number 369. Nice. Oh boy. I bought a new phone today, because the other one was a hand-me-down that wasn't charging very well. And it's a cheapo phone. It functions pretty well, but yeah, the photos do look like ass compared to my previous phone. It's good enough to get the job done, though. That's so cute, right? And it's completely handmade, so it was pretty expensive. But I really like it. That person also had the slime cubes, D&D monsters. Yeah, definitely. Gelatinous cube. Yeah. Had a green one and a purple one. Yeah, they were great. But I was like, man, you know, the plushie was already like, and I completely understand, like, that it's expensive to make, you have to pay for materials and labors and stuff, but I was just like, man, this plushie was already 80 bucks. I'm not gonna buy two other 50-buck things from her. I like her work, but like I have to watch my butt. Not spend all my money. And I also bought some comics that I told you about, but I I like them. There, two of them, like by the same person, are a little messy, but like in terms of what happens in them, where I'm like, okay, but you know, sometimes you just gotta leave some room for people to be a little messy, I guess. And it's mostly meant for teenagers, I think, so. But I wanted to support LGBT creators. I need to make that part of my life motto. And I also, today I participated in some rainbow capitalism, and I bought a rainbow fan, like a hand fan. So now I'm fanning myself. All for me. Well, 170, come on. Let's get this show on the road, binge. Let me in. Let me in. Man, they removed the login, like automatically logging you out after 30 minutes, so I just should have sat my ass down in Limsa and gone out to eat and then came back to stream. But it's not been a problem before, so I don't know why it is now. 120, come on now. Yeah. I didn't think we were gonna finish Elpis today anyway, so... Because then we'd have to really push it, and I have to work tomorrow, so I don't really want to do that. I just want to take it squeezy. That's one of the things I regret a little bit about the earlier playthroughs, because I was in such a hurry to get to Endwalker and Shadowbringers that I maybe should have taken my time a little bit more, but you know, you live and learn. You do learn. Give yourself some credit. By the way, oh, we're logging in now. Come on, let's do it. Don't kick me out, you bastard. Thank you. What the fuck is going on? Alright, let me put on my right clothes. Turn on the music. Okay, yeah, no worries. Music. Don't skip the playback of the cutscenes. If we get to the dungeon today, I'll talk about it. But right now, I just want to get to Elpis, so let me out. Let me out. There we go. Alright. More fun times with Hermes, I'm sure. Hey guys. Where to now? If there's anywhere you would like to visit before we leave, I should be glad to show you the way. Hermes has not yet outright refused his position with the convocation, merely postponed the decision. As such, I may as well resume my assessment. If we cannot accompany him, then I will content myself with questioning his colleagues. Ever the pragmatist. Then allow me to remain your humble guide. What of you, Dwashe? Will you come along with us? Wonderful. Our fellowship travels on unbroken. I say we explore another part of Elpis and see what new encounters there are to be had. If you would follow me, we will first head back towards Anagnorisis. Fly, fly, fly! I have to say, Dwashe looks kind of good in these robes. Oh, flew too far. Like the low cut here with the long neck. It's very becoming. From here, we follow the path northwards to Nochoneus. Thank you. There we will find one of the nails which facilitate travel between the islands of Elpis. First-time travelers must be accompanied by someone with the requisite permission, which I have previously been granted. We only need use the device together once, and henceforth you will have leave to use it freely. Shall we? I just think the Elezen in this game are very gender in general. Here we are, Notoneus. This Neus will take us to Kalimelios Zephyros, the western island. Hell yeah. What's this? That's it right there, looming large over us. Step this way and we can soon admire the view from above. Yay!
I present to you Kalimelios Zephyros. Here you will find a number of testing facilities, as well as the observation hub of Poiton Oikos. Right then. Let's begin by... Well, well, an Arrayus. How delightful.
And what, pray tell, is that?
Ah, that's a new species of shark. We approved the concept but a few days ago. Sharks are among the most popular sea creatures. Rare is the day when someone does not submit a new concept. At first, they were largely orthodox, consideration given to such things as size and environmental impact. And then a whimsical someone thought to bestow it with flight. Another, superior intelligence. And then the floodgates burst. Concepts with multiple heads, or arms and legs, and so on and so forth. It was getting absurd. A Part of me wanted to tell them to go away and find something else to create, but in the end I couldn't deny their passion. And here we are.
Hello? Who's this?
That was too close. Are you unharmed? Well now, if it isn't a pair of familiar faces.
Benar, that we should meet you here.
As I mentioned earlier, the better part of the convocation holds that when we retire is when we return to the star. Well, she is not among said majority. Even after stepping down, she carries on with her work. Venar is her name, and she is the previous Azem.
The one before ours.
It has been a while, Hythlodaeus. You look well. Less so, Emmet Selk. I dare say the lines upon your brow have both deepened and doubled in number. A shame for one so young. You must make an effort to frown less often.
Easier said than done, thanks to your unruly successor.
How is she, if I may ask?
Incorrigible as ever. Rushed headlong into a volcano on the brink of eruption just the other day. I should be glad to share the tale in its entirety later, if you're so inclined.
Oh, you know I am. Now then, you are? I say, have you perchance come from the future?
Found out immediately.
I do not believe we have ever met, yet I sense my magic upon you. Therefore, if I wove the enchantment, I could only have done so at a later point in time.
She's smart.
What manner of magic is this, if I may ask?
A traveler's ward, of course. It prevents the corruption of one's ether.
That sounds rather like the blessing of light.
I see you are not ignorant to its presence. And while there are many protective spells, the one you bear is unmistakably mine.
Hold on. From the future? That's absurd.
What is it? Are you unable to speak of the matter?
The reality to which you must return exists as a result of the final days. You cannot reshape the past to undo the tragedies of the present.
So, your actions here will not change your history, but they may yet affect the course of ours. How very exciting! I'm quite fond of delving into the unknown. And there's naught more unknown than the future. Until a moment finally arrives, we cannot know for certain what will come to pass, regardless of our supposed foreknowledge. So you needn't worry for us. More importantly, that you should go to such great lengths as to travel unto the past bespeaks the gravity of your quest. Will you not reveal it to us? Mayhap we can be of aid to your cause.
If this is true, then you've been keeping quite the secret to yourself. As a representative of the Convocation, I will hear it all. Your identity, purpose, everything.
Why don't we move to a place more conducive to calm conversation? I've been working here for some days now at an old friend's behest. If it is agreeable, we may make use of my accommodation at Poiton Oikos. We were meant to meet. I am certain of it. Else I wouldn't have marked you so clearly, and sent you unto myself in the past. It's precisely the sort of mischief I would get up to, and quite inspired, if I do say so myself.
Oh man. My apologies, but before we move along, a colleague has tasked me with a matter which I'd rather not leave unresolved. It involves finding a certain concept engraved crystal, and the quick-fingered Arrayas which made off with it. An Arrayas, you say? I think we might have seen the culprit before being distracted by that business with the shark. Would you like us to follow its ethereal trail? That would, of course, lead us only to the Arrayas. There's no guarantee it hasn't dropped or stashed away the crystal you seek. Please. Please. Even that much would be enormously helpful. While you are hunting down the thief, I can follow behind and scour the forest floor just in case. Could I ask you to join in on the search? I would appreciate another pair of eyes to cover the land to the west of here. Many thanks. There's a small bridge leading into Poiton Oikos. Let us meet up there once we've exhausted our efforts. Alright. Man, I'm already like... I'm in such an emotional mood today. So everything that's happening right now just makes me want to cry. I do. Our last searcher returned. I'm afraid the Arrayas no longer had the crystal, nor was I able to find it as I followed in its wake. I don't suppose you fared any better? The crystal. Well done. Wonderful. Now I can focus on your tale without that missing concept nagging at my mind. Have you always had a knack for finding things? Traveling and searching go hand in hand. You travel often then. It seems we have something in common. Long ago, when I held the seat of Azem, I was forever trekking back and forth across the star in search of answers to people's problems. Naturally, the need for such journeys has lessened considerably since I entrusted the position to my whimsical successor. Yet I am still eager to come running should an old acquaintance or new interest require my personal attention. That is what brings me to Elpis, in fact. Many times has my presence been requested, my opinion sought concerning the habitat of this or that creation. Agreeing to help locate that missing crystal was a minor distraction, which now promises to become a major revelation. How strange and wonderful it is the way one thing leads to another. Wouldn't you agree? Yes, I would. Thank you again for your timely help. Now then, 'tis time I returned this stolen property. If you would go on ahead to my accommodation, I will join you as soon as I have attended to that task. Follow the path straight ahead to the building at the top of the slope. I have the entire place to myself, so we can speak without fear of being disturbed or overheard. Yeah, they did such a good job at making her just immediately so likable. I fucking love Vanna. Oh, little fun fact. Apparently in Japanese she is named Venus. And they made her name Vanna for the English version. I don't know exactly why. But you know. Welcome to my temporary abode. Please, make yourself at home while I put on some tea. Ugh, not the piano instrumental of answers.
Ah, a wonderful aroma. I feel more relaxed already.
Would that I had sweetmeats to offer, but I travel light out of habit. There's plenty of hot water though, so please have as much tea as you like. Now then, will you tell us your tale?
The world in the future I came from, the world has been sundered, broken into shards.
Why don't you start from the beginning? Preposterous. Utterly preposterous.
While not the words I would have chosen, I too have my doubts. Much of it borders on the incredulous. What of you, Vanar?
Not knowing the precise details of the first final days, it is difficult to determine the veracity of the tale. Supposing it is all true, I must ask myself why I would do what I did. Why would I feel I had no recourse but to oppose the 14 and create this Hydaelyn? Circumstances change, of course, but it would not have been an easy decision regardless. No, there must have been a reason. One compelling enough to force me to take such drastic measures. Then there is the Elpis flower, which I said would serve as a guide. That it's of import to your mission is plain, but your presence here leads me to believe that this place also holds significance. But what could it be? What are we meant to accomplish?
Might it not be simply thus? In the future, whence she came, the final days could not be averted. Mankind has no choice but to flee the star. By alerting us to that eventuality, perhaps you wish to pave the way for other futures.
Theoretically speaking, it is a possibility. Yet if that were my primary objective, I see no reason to guide our friend to Elpis specifically. The capital and Amarot, or even my own home would be more logical destinations.
True, true. I note also that Hydaelyn did not specify a point in time to which she must return. By this, it may be inferred that it was not critical that we should meet.
Alternately, she had reason to believe that our paths would converge, coincidental though it may seem.
This is quite a puzzle, and we do not have all the pieces.
Hardly any, but we do have one immutable fact. If the final days are indeed as described, they will bring death to all that I hold dear. Yet despite being afforded long years of preparation, the only provisions I could make were for flight. Nay, my first and foremost endeavor would be to find a way to forestall the coming doom.
Given that even the 14 failed, mayhap you deemed it impossible.
Nothing is impossible. This I have always believed. And if Hydaelyn is indeed me, she would believe the same.
Listen to yourself. Are you seriously entertaining the notion that you are a messianic figure in some far-fetched tale? Well, I will not. I refuse to accept that our world could be undone by some unforeseen calamity. I also take offense to my portrayal as a megalomaniacal madman. To sacrifice oneself for the star is a noble act, and I would hold those who gave themselves to this zodiac in the highest esteem. Yet, you claim I recreated Amarot and populated it with phantoms of our people? A bizarre indulgence that would be insulting to their memory. Worse still, I even invited you there. Literally invited my own downfall. Why would I do something so idiotic and inexplicable?
Mm.
Now, I will allow that the hypothetical task of restoring our world would be daunting in the extreme. The thought of having to bear such a burden for 1,000 lives horrifies me. But I would never forsake my duty. I would never forsake my brethren. You do not know me. I've had my fill of your fiction. I will return to my duty, and you will not bother me again.
Emmett Selk! Wait!
Hmm.
You've seen much of Elpis already. If you have any observations to share, I should like to hear them.
Honestly, I don't know if they made it that clear in the actual game itself, but Zodiark is a primal, and pretty much all of the Asians were tempered by him. So I think Emmett Selk inviting the Warrior of Light to the Tempest was just a way for him to say, like, okay, I can't stop doing it myself, you have to stop me. Like, whoever wins is right. Which is what he says, I think. Like, the victor will write the tale. Man, that must fucking suck to hear, though. Oh my god. Hermes and Meteon are somehow involved.
Hermes and his creation Meteon, you say? If Dynamis is the self-same energy as Akasha, as it likely seems, then those two may well be at the center of the calamity to come. This warrants further investigation. With that settled, tis time for action. The missing pieces of the puzzle are here, I'm certain of it. And when you find them, the picture my future self has painted will be complete, and you will have your answer. Now, suffice it to say, I will aid you in your quest. Have faith. If Emmett Selk is the man Azum described to me, we've not seen the last of him.
Oh boy. Oh. Shall we begin our investigations then? I'm acquainted with Hermes, of course, but only as a visitor received by the chief overseer of Elpis. Of the man himself, I know only that which is common knowledge. Thus, I suggest we fall back on the tried and true method of conversing with the locals. The observers who live here can surely tell us more of Hermes and Meteon, and I have a good idea of where we might begin. See you, the woman standing in front of yonder building. Her name is Ismene. She is the one who made arrangements for my stay in Elpis, and from what I recall, she has held her position here for quite some time. Chances are she can provide us with some insights. Go and ask your questions. I will help with drawing out answers if need be, but I leave the choice of topic up to you. Hello. Questions for me? Well, I suppose I have no other pressing duties at the moment. Let's begin asking questions. Greetings, Ismene. My friend here is desperately curious about Chief Hermes, and I was wondering if you might indulge her. Certainly, Mistress Vanna. Anything to be of service. What do you wish to know? What kind of person is Hermes? Well, I can only answer from my own experience, but I would describe him as a quiet man, reserved, you might say, and occasionally somewhat poor with his choice of words. His reticent nature, however, does not prevent him from carrying out his duties as chief overseer. The man is a walking archive when it comes to life forms. He can discuss any species in great detail, and is the leading authority on concepts with the power of flight. Yup. I hope that answers your question. Was there anything else? How long has Meteion been here? I cannot rightly say. As a chief's personal creation, Meteion has not been subjected to observation and study like other concepts. So one day she was simply there. And what do you make of her abilities? I understand that she is a highly unusual familiar, able to read emotions and communicate directly with one's mind. Exactly how she was created with that talent, however, is a mystery to me. My apologies. I wish I could explain her nature in more depth, but I've not had occasion to discuss it with Chief Hermes. Do you wish you knew him better? The chief may not be the most gregarious individual, but he engages with us as is necessary for everyone to perform their duties. I wouldn't want to intrude upon his privacy for the sake of curiosity. Though, if you wish to learn more about Meteion, you could try speaking with Timaeus, another expert in the creation of flying concepts. He should be conducting his observations on the banks of the stream, somewhere to the east. Oh, and unless you take a particular joy in rambling discourse, I suggest you keep your questions concise. I love rambling discourse. We shall keep that in mind. Thank you for your patience and your insight. Think nothing of it. If there's aught else you need during your stay, please do not hesitate to ask. Come, Doache, I think we've taken enough of Ismene's time. Our investigation is off to a fine start, wouldn't you agree? From here, I propose that we split up. I shall continue making inquiries with the resident observers, if you could track down the colleague Ismene mentioned. While I did feel compelled to interject once or twice during that previous conversation, you seem more than capable of drawing forth the answers you seek. All I ask is that you watch your footing around the stream. We can meet back here once you finish speaking with this Timaeus. Yes, yes, I am Timaios, but please keep your voice down. You'll startle the birds. So, what is it you wish to speak about? What do you think of Chief Hermes' flying creations? Chief Hermes' work? A worthy subject indeed. Those beings which soar through the clouds, majestic and graceful, are ever a favorite of creators. Even now, with so many varieties in existence, the flood of newly imagined concepts continues unabated. What sets the chief's creations apart, however, is how they benefit from his boundless knowledge of the celestial realm. Birds that climb so high that they disappear from view, others which traverse the boundless sky in moments, and all without riding the currents. I know of none save he who can conceive of such marvels. Even we who prize elegance or form above all else are dumbfounded by his genius. Meteon too is a marvel, then? My opinion on that matter would be superficial at best. Despite my admiration for Meteon as a concept, I have never delved too deeply into the inner workings of her nature. I know that she has a gift for communicating via emotions, but otherwise her abilities are a mystery to me. If Chief Hermes should choose to submit Meteon's concept to the Bureau of the Architect, then will the design be registered for public scrutiny? Analyzing a colleague's creation before that step is frowned upon, to say the least. Of course, if he came to me, a fellow artisan, looking for advice, that would be an entirely different story. Do you know of Dynamis and Entelekes? Dynamis and Entelekes? Those terms do sound vaguely familiar. Was there not a flower made here in Elpis which exhibited properties of one or the other? It must have been centuries since I last heard anyone speak of such things. Has there been a resurgence in interest? Then why bring up the subject? I'm flattered that you sought my insight, but I cannot afford to neglect my duties for the sake of idle chatter. Now I really must return to my observations. Surely you have your own tasks to attend to? Nom. Back already? That was quick work. You were obviously clever enough to head off any of that rambling is mainly mentioned. So, have you any new findings to share? I see. Even an expert in the field had little understanding of Meteon's capabilities, let alone an awareness of Dynamis. My questions resulted in much the same answers. Hermes' colleagues view Meteon as his personal project and could provide no details beyond those which you just told me. Which leads me to believe that the only person with any significant knowledge of Dynamis is Hermes himself. Yes, we've made some progress here, but more information is needed if we are to reach any definitive conclusions. Okay, Mom. At present, the strongest link we have to the final days is the power of Dynamis, and the Entelekes which can control it. Yet most scholars are only vaguely aware of these terms, let alone study them in any depth. Except for Hermes, it seems. Thus I am inclined to stay our current course and learn all we can about the Chief Overseer and his familiar. God, where's Faith when you need her? She should have been here. No! Can we rewind time? Please. I'm just gonna spam message her, like, get on stream chat right now. And call Vana MILF. And on that subject, was there aught else of note you can tell me about Michan, aside from her unorthodox method of communication? She and her sisters were created to journey to the stars and search for intelligent life. I rather wish you had mentioned that earlier. In any event, would you care to elaborate? So, these siblings of hers now travel the great expanse in search of deeper meaning. Thank you. Though the mystery at hand remains unsolved, I feel you've touched upon a vital clue, one we should keep in mind as we continue. Next, I propose we take ourselves to Peripetaya Crystalline, not far from here. Just follow the path west. Crystalline. Keep it a little bit Greek. No, it's foggy. There's clouds. This tower and the one further along are both part of Peripetaya Crystalline, the facility where they archive all of Elpis's observational and testing records. Despite how they appear from the outside, the interior is actually a vast area of magically interconnected spaces, which, while fascinating, is not the reason we are here, is it? Oh my god, you're here! That's our mom! That's Heidelin before she became Heidelin. We're in the past. Hell yeah, thank you. Just needed that. Thank you, thank you. Despite how they appear from the outside, the interconnected spaces, which, while fascinating, is not the reason we are here, is it? I shall cut my architectural lesson short and see that what those two archivists have to share. If you could find someone to speak with over at the other tower, I shall join you there anon. Wow! Let's see if we can get a little bit of a close-up. Ma'am, please turn the other way. I'm trying to get a close-up on your face and you're not helping me. She's so pretty. If you keep hanging around here, you will probably hear me cry at a coming cutscene. Ayaya. If you have questions for me, certainly. Just a moment while I conclude my current appointment. Our mummy. I love her. Indeed. So if you could provide a comprehensive log of those behaviors, we should then have sufficient data for our official records. Now, what was it you wished to speak with me about? The Chief Overseer's personal research project? And by that, I assume you mean Michion. Such undocumented studies are difficult to track. After all, hardly a day goes past without seeing a researcher trailed by one creation or another. I'm afraid I cannot tell you exactly when Michion appeared, only that she now spends much of her time at Chief Hermes' side. Although, I do recall an interesting tale my dearest Leanne shared with me. Leanne is my partner and a fellow researcher here in Elpis. She was returning late one night when she caught sight of Chief Hermes sending Michion heavensward, a host of them. For several days, she would speak of that scene with wonder, describing it as one of the most beautiful spectacles she had ever witnessed. Happy Pride! That sounds like a story I should like to hear. Hi, Mom. Mistress Fana, I thought you had already returned to the surface. Permit me to thank you again for your invaluable contribution to our concept placement proposal. Pray do not mention it. As you say, my original plan was to leave after that task, but I have since become engrossed with Chief Hermes' research. Would you favor me with a retelling of this sight which so delighted your Leanne? Of course. Or you could hear it from her lips directly if you prefer. At present, she should be observing a subject in Metabaseos thalassai. She does enjoy her time there, watching the sea creatures hunt and play, gazing upon the salty waters of the world's oceans, recreated in such sublime detail. I imagine you must find similar joy in indulging your boundless curiosity, Mistress Vana. Even though such pursuits must continually and regretfully delay your return to the star. Indeed they do. 'Tis a rest well deserved and long overdue, I should think. How greatly have we prospered for the wisdom you accumulated during your travels as a Zem. And what would Elpis be without your earlier academic work? The theories you developed served as the basis of many techniques still in use today. Man is a creature of contemplation, but none embody that nature with as much enduring passion as you. Aye, I dare say there's not a soul alive more worthy of a return. I shall rejoice the day you depart on your final journey. That's a little weird to say to someone. I will be honored. She's not too keen on it, I don't think. Well, shall we take this opportunity to meet with Leanne in person? Oh yeah, Faith, for you, returning to the star means dying. For these people, if they've just fulfilled their life's work, they die and return to the star. They think that is, the best thing you can do after you're fulfilled. Then allow me to reconfigure the door to the archives here. It will take you up to the Skyway and spare you the need to avoid hostile concepts on the ground. That would be most helpful, thank you. I knew you astrology fiends would love it. I've opened the path to the Skyway. Once you pass through the door, simply walk straight across to the next tower and ask for admittance to the upper tier. Upon arriving at the upper tier, walk straight across the Skyway and you will find yourself at the entrance to Metabaseos Thalassai. I know! Galeen will be eager to share her tale with you, I'm sure. Mr. Svana, just passing through. Then allow me to prepare the path. If you need further assistance, there is always an observer or two out on the upper Skyway. Yeah, by the way, she is wearing, she's the only one wearing white robes at this moment. It's because people wearing white robes are like people who have either a special function or they are well respected as like advisors and stuff. Yeah, she's a special lady. Mistress Fana, I was not told to expect. We would have prepared an official welcome. Please, there's no need for fanfare. I only wish to speak with Galeen, if that might be arranged. Yes, Galeen, of course. I will inform her immediately. But she may be engaged in a testing phase. You could be in for something of a wait. Should I let her know your business is urgent? That won't be necessary. This lovely view will keep us occupied until she is ready to receive us. Let's see if I keep it together for this one. Oh my god.
A delightful breeze and a breathtaking view. What is it like in the future? Is the world still a beautiful place?
Some parts, yes. Others, not so much.
Dark, hidden places, rife with danger. Those have an altogether different, but no less powerful sort of appeal. While we wait, will you not tell me about your adventures? Well, not the portentous events which led you here, but the simple delights all your own. By learning about the future world, I may gain insight into future me's plans. But more than that, I have an interest simply as a fellow traveler. Short of going somewhere oneself, there's naught more stirring than hearing another's account. Incredible. Would that I could have been there to see it. Yours is a harsh and unforgiving world. Yet in spite of this, your brethren hold fast to their virtue. To know that the light of mankind's potential still shines, even in that faraway place, it gives me heart. Thank you for regaling me with your tales. I will treasure every word. As you know, I was once a scholar. And among other things, I sought to understand the workings of the world. What exactly is ether? How formed the laws of nature? Whence sprung mankind? Riddles and mysteries beyond counting. Over the years, I have managed to find answers to some few of them. Yet rather than attain a sense of mastery, the more I understood, the more I came to hold the world and its miracles in awe. We too are miracles, each and every one of us, born of the warm breath of life that traverses the heavens, swirling through eternity. When I fully grasped the improbability of our existence, nothing felt impossible anymore. If it could be imagined, it could be done. A passion swelled within me, an epiphany dispelling all preconceptions of what was natural and true. And a presence without, immense yet intimate, fate perhaps, holding us in its tender embrace. As reassuring as it was intimidating, how keenly aware I became of creation's fragility, built as it is upon precarious happenstance. I was overcome with an irrepressible urge to know the world more intimately, to hear its voice, feel its breath. I ventured forth on a journey that very day, so very long ago now. Freed from presumption and prejudice, I saw the world through a newborn's eyes. Everything fresh and new, and so beautiful. Lands that stretched on forever. Skies one could drown in. The heartbeat of nature, silent yet strong. And amidst it all a people, beacons of light and life. Laughter that warmed my heart like naught else before. They are my meaning, and my purpose, my love. And so long as they need help, I cannot return to the star. Perhaps my future self is still waiting for it. The moment she can let go and walk unto the end. Safe in the knowledge that man will find his own way. You, who are our future, tell me this, and tell me true. Has your journey been good? Has it been worthwhile?
Oh man. Yeah. It has been. I am.
Pray forgive my lateness.
Oh.
My observation subject was rather irritable, and it took a while to settle it down.
Saved by the interruption.
No need to apologize. Your work takes precedence. Besides, we had a pleasant conversation in the meantime.
You're too kind. Now then, I'm told you wished to ask me some questions.
Indeed. I've an interest in one of Hermes' creations, Meteon. You witnessed a host of them take flight, yes?
Oh, that! Yes, yes, I did. It was in the dark of the morn. I'd left the Thalassai after nocturnal observation. As I walked along, I spied a bright light climbing high into the southeastern skies. Then, in an instant, it was gone, like a shooting star, only rising rather than falling. But then another shot up, then another, and another. Intrigued, I made my way to the edge to investigate. And who should I spy on an isle to the south but Hermes and Meteon, the Metea, rather. There were lots of them, and I realized they must be the shooting stars that I'd seen.
A dazzling spectacle indeed. Have you spoken with Hermes about this?
Oh, yes. The sight left such an impression on me that I approached him about his mystery project the very next day. Alas, he said that he couldn't reveal anything just yet, that he needed to conduct further tests. It shouldn't be long now, though. He often returns to that isle, and I have a feeling he's nearing a breakthrough.
Splendid. We are likewise eager for the details. Well, that is all we wish to ask. Thank you for taking the time to indulge our curiosity.
You're very welcome. It's always a pleasure to speak with other inquisitive souls. Oh, and will you be descending now? If so, I shall link the doors for you.
Please.
I'm gonna have a twofer here. 2 cutscenes is gonna make me cry. So, another piece of the puzzle falls into place. From what we've learned thus far, I think we can safely conclude that Hermes hasn't been revealing the details of his research to others. Well, which suggests that either someone will appropriate his discoveries and make use of them, or that Hermes himself will have a hand in causing the final days. Since we have no reason yet to suspect the former, we should consider the latter the more likely possibility. Proceeding under that assumption, our next step should be to divine why, or even if, he might desire such a terrible fate for our star. Why indeed? I should like to visit the site from which Hermes sent forth the Metea. If we are fortunate, we might find some hint of what drives this research of his. Leanne said she spotted them in the southeast, rising from an isle she could see from the edge. If we stand at that same vantage point, it should not prove too difficult to locate the isle in question. Let's take a look, shall we? You know, some days you just gotta let it all out. Yeah? Well, who knows? Now, if I were conducting some mystery research, where would I go? Ha, what about that one? Have you the means to fly? 'Tis quite a distance away. I have Veronica. Inconvenient, but hardly an insurmountable problem. Timmy, Argos. Can you take my blonde ass to the dog park? My friend, would you mind creating a double to carry Dwashe here over to that island? Stubborn creature? There is no place on this great star we have not together traveled, and still he remains obstinate in the presence of strangers. Argos has rather exacting standards, I'm afraid. What? You've ridden him before? Ah, your before meaning my after. Not at all confusing, that. Interesting. 'Tis certainly not unthinkable. But speaking of the here and now, the quick solution is for us to face off in a sparring match. Demonstrate to him that you are capable of holding your own against me in battle, and you should convince Argos that you are worthy of his back. And besides, I might even teach you a thing or two in the bargain. You seem doubtful, but useful lesson or not, it will certainly be a moment to remember, a memory of the distant past to cherish. What say you, traveler out of time? Choose your battlefield. I admire your confidence. Clear your mind and prepare your weapons. I will await you at the clearing over yonder. Ooh, I'm gonna do this as monk because I want to show off my glam. Look at that. Very handsome, yes. Dwashe is like a fairy tale prince. Man, they have a fairy tale prince and princess outfit on the Mog Station, but they're gender locked. You cannot get the prince outfit with a femme character. Shall we begin? Be warned, I'll not go easy on you. Yeah, they have been removing gender lock from certain outfits, like dresses and skirts and stuff, so I'm really hoping that they'll work on that next. I love this song. Hi! Alright, let's go.
Let neither side hold back.
Oh no!
My blade sings!
Uh-oh. So when my keybinds got fucked up, I accidentally reassigned the wrong ones. Can I leave? Can I leave? Wait. Ah. Well, that's one way to leave. Hold on, I have to change some things. I forgot it was Alt, not Control. Boop boop boop. This one's control 1. Control 2. Control 3. Control 4. And control 5. This one is Alt 1. Alt 2. Oh. Sorry if you keep hearing noises. Alt. Don't save. Alt 3. Alt 4. And Alt 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Let me just test that. Yeah, okay. Let's try that again.
Let neither side hold back. My blade sings!
Too high. Exaflares.
My blade sings!
No.
Impressive. I shall have to try something different.
You can change classes in battle. What the hell? So she's been paladin and now dancer.
Have a taste.
Ah!
I see you won't be easily overcome, but neither will I.
White mage. I know those animations like the back of my hand.
Prepare yourself.
No! Leave me alone.
Very well. Let us move to the final trial.
Agape! I guess Doshe canonically has like 5 different classes as well, but she doesn't get to switch those out in the middle of battle? What the fuck? I'm gonna die. Here we go.
Break your chains, shed your burdens, and show me your strength of will! You still stand. The people of your time are more resilient than I had dared hope. I have seen enough.
Thank you. Thanks, Mom. Just need to get that as a ringtone, I think.
'Twas my intent to finish it, but clearly I underestimated you. One would think I never learn. I made the same mistake with Azam when we first sparred. Despite being less than half my age, her strength was astounding. As is yours. 'Tis plain you have weathered considerable hardship. Far more even than your tales would suggest. It seems we have both learned much on our journeys.
Two doggies. And now we know why Argos was so nice to us on the moon.
I dare say he has warmed to you. A boon to be sure. He never forgets his favorites, and is ever eager to come to their aid.
He remembered us. Ah! Okay, time for more robes. Argos will soon have us standing on the very spot where the Metia made their departure into the night sky. With luck, we will learn something of Hermes' intentions. My hope is that we find no connection, no festering wish for oblivion. Then we might have Hermes and his considerable expertise working for us rather than against us. Let us move over to the edge before mounting, shall we? That will allow Argos to catch the currents rising up from below and give us a smooth ride over to the isle. Oh boy. Argos motions to his back with his muzzle. You've been given the go-ahead to hop on. Yay! Let's go. Whee! Isn't this pleasant? Argos certainly seems to think so. Does the sound keep cutting out for you all? Now, what was the name of that tree? Noah something. Oh, Noethoporian. Okay, and then after we land, I might have to turn my headset off and then on again. It's probably my headset. Brace yourself for the landing. I wouldn't want you tumbling... Why is it so quick? Off at the last moment.
Quite a small place, lacking even the most basic equipment. The present may yield no clues, but we may yet try perusing the past. Have you done this before? So you cannot control the power freely. Worry not. I shall assist you. Come and stand before me.
Yeah, those are our past viewing powers from the Echo.
There are two ways to see the past. The first entails peering through the walls of the soul in the moment a subject is recalling a memory. The second requires no subject, and is instead a process of piecing together an event from ripples left in the ambient ether.
Yeah, not too far off.
As memories are etched upon the ether of the soul, so too are they etched upon the ether of the world. In this way can history be preserved. Such memories are given to fading, however, and can prove challenging to visit. But come, let us try. Close your eyes.
All units fully functional and proceeding on course towards their respective stars. Estimated time to completion of survey is 108 cycles. End of status report. Severing connection with shared consciousness. Did you hear that, Hermes? All is well.
Yes. Good tidings at long last. Every step of the way, I've been reminded how little we understand creation. How the universe defies imagination.
But soon we won't need to speculate. We'll know the answers. What others live for.
Indeed. And we'll owe it all to you and your sisters.
I wonder what answers we will get.
Whatever intelligent beings that exist out there are bound to be vastly different from us. Diverse in form and culture, possessed of unique ways of thinking. Their conception of life and its purpose will be no exception. Completely and utterly unlike ours.
Utterly unlike... how?
I have no idea. Yet whatever answers we receive, I will not dismiss them out of hand. No, I will think earnestly on them all. And I will share them with our people, that together we may contemplate our own existence. Perhaps then our star will become a better place. Not only for man, but for all life. Meteon, though I gave you wings to soar the heavens, I did not teach you how to walk the earth. So loath was I to bind another living being. In the course of your long journey, you will learn from those you meet, learn to walk and run and so much more. And when you return, older and wiser, we will have a celebration to mark your homecoming and coming of age both.
Will there be apples? Covered in syrup?
And how are you supposed to eat them? Rather than food, perhaps... a flower. Yes. Upon your return, I will gift you a beautiful flower.
Man. I love these two.
So, what is your opinion?
Hermes wouldn't wish for the final days.
I'm inclined to agree. As we had suspected, the two are somehow involved. Yet 'tis difficult to believe that they would deliberately seek to end all life. In light of this, I propose that we reveal your tale to Hermes himself. If he does not wish for the final days, as we believe, he may well join us in pursuing a solution. Then it is settled. Let us seek out our friend with all swiftness. 'Twould not do to let such a pure soul be blackened by tragedy.
Oh boy. There are any number of places where Hermes might be in Elpis. But we could do worse than to look in Ctesis Hyperborea, the largest facility. It stands in Ethoseletikos Boreas, the Northern Isle. I wondered, Wache, for an institution which claims to studiously research every species destined for release into the world, did you not question how they find room for them all on so few islands? The answer lies within Ctesis itself. I touched upon the practice before back at the archives, where a vast area is stitched together out of multiple conceptual spaces. The same holds true for the interior of this facility and its magically constructed environs. 'Tis there, within those sprawling habitats, that the chief overseer and most of Elpis's observers conduct the bulk of their work. Come, the simplest route is via the Neos north of Poiton Oikos. Oh man. Ugh. Oh, okay, shit. Woo! We're getting close to the end here. This appears to be the teleporter Vanna told you about. Modes of light yet hang in the air, suggesting the device was but recently activated. Yeah, I don't think we'll finish today, but next stream, definitely. Oh boy, oh boy. Ah, good. The Neos acknowledged you as my guest. You should now have the authority to use it as you wish. As for the way to Catesis Hyperborea, we follow this path, then turn left at the crossroads. Yeah, there's only like 6 missions left, but that's probably longer than just an hour or so, because cutscenes and stuff, and also the dungeon. Here we are, the grandest research facility in Elpis. Oh yeah, the end of, oh shit. The end of the Elpis arc, right? Not the end of Endwalker. Blah blah, I accidentally skipped dialogue. Hermes is at another facility, as we have just discovered. Okay, perfect, yeah. No confusion about that. Furthermore, we've confirmed that his studies into Dynamis, as well as his creation of Meteon, were entirely private pursuits. No one else we spoke with appeared to possess the chief's depth of knowledge on the subject, and neither did we hear any tales of stolen research. Which means that if Hermes himself harbors no desire to bring down an apocalypse, then he might be recruited to help prevent one. Or so saith the illustrious Emetselk. According to your story, the 14 divined the connection between the celestial currents in the final days, but were never able to pinpoint the root cause of the calamity. With our people's greatest minds, not to mention Hythlodaeus' sharp eyes, committed to the pursuit of a solution, such an outcome seems inconceivable. The only possible explanation is if the nature of the catalyst was so inexplicable that even we fail to perceive it. And what better fits that description than the invisible, intangible Dynamis? Which in turn leads us to our next question. How did Hermes, in his role as Fandaniel, not recognize the subject of his own research? We must assume that he either knew and was unable to help, or that he was otherwise prevented from identifying the cause in the first place. At this juncture, all we can do is speculate. To be clear, the Convocation does not tolerate acts of deception or malice. We are practiced at perceiving truth, and would have known had Fandaniel lied to us. Hermes has no conscious wish for the world to end. Of that I am certain. It seems there is more to the tale after all. We conducted an investigation of our own, you see. How comforting. We seem to have reached the exact same conclusion. I see no reason to delay further. 'Tis time we brought Hermes into the fold, as it were. Thank you for understanding. Save your thanks. I did not say I believed your ridiculous story. But as Emmett Selk, I have a duty to examine any potential threat to our existence, no matter how ludicrous or personally offensive I may find it. Oh, I love Hypnodaze. A little chuckle in the back there. He is surly for sure. I think the time for leisurely exploration is past. If I might have a moment to adjust my vision. There he is, on the next aisle over. Meechon is with him. Hermes appears to be in the midst of an observational study, but I suggest we hurry over before they venture elsewhere. Head straight down the path. We can teleport to Mesopsi's Euros from the device at the bottom of the slope. Let's go! This appears to be the teleporter to Mesopsi's Euros. Hello? They are close by, within the Hungarian Gardens. That would be the circular enclosure you see just up ahead. Well then, Dwache, make yourself useful and bring Hermes out here to us. If I were to go, he would assume I was only there to press him on the Fandaniel matter. Of all of us present, you stand the best chance at convincing him to put aside his work for the moment. But the creations in there are not exactly... Then again, perhaps Dwache can handle them. She did survive a bout with Fana after all. Off you go to find Hermes, but do be prepared to come to blows with the garden's denizens. No. Just a little place full of big boys. Look at the big boys. Let me out, let me out, let me out. There he is. Dwache, what are you doing here? I thought you were keeping Hypnodaze and Emmett Selk company. An important matter, and unrelated to my decision on Fandaniel, you say? Then yes, I will come, as soon as my work here is finished. It will not be long, I promise, but you should really wait outside the garden with the others. This is no place for idle exploration. Okay. Hate those guys. They're gross. Gross. You spoke with Hermes, then? And were briefly entangled with the denizens of the Hungering Gardens as well, I see. Or should I say, smell? I cannot speak for certain Convocation members, but I for one am impressed with your fortitude. Well done indeed. Now that you've convinced Hermes to confer with us, let us pray that things soon take a turn for the better. Don't say that. For as fascinating as it would be to meet the Emet-Selk who would recreate Amarot in the depths of the ocean, I think it best for all concerned if such tragic events never came to pass. Be it in our future or your past, assuming yours is not truly written in stone. Naive hope that is. Can't change the past, man. Hermes said he would not be long, yes? Then we shall wait here until he emerges.
My apologies for keeping you waiting. I understand there is a matter you wish to discuss.
Aye. A matter of the utmost gravity. If one can suspend disbelief. Go on then. Tell him what you told us. Who you are and why you came.
The final days.
The phenomena observed during these star-encompassing calamities is likely the product of a dynamis reaction. And none is more versed in the applications of this energy than you, Hermes. I must stress that we do not believe you would desire such destruction. We come not to lodge accusations, but to beg your wisdom. And so, distressing though the exercise may be, I ask that you share with us your opinion on the matter, on the assumption that our visitor's tale is true.
Even you, Vana. As you say, the phenomena observed in the two calamities may both be attributed to dynamis. Of note is the difference in its effect. In the first final days, it warped creation magics. In the second, it warped the people themselves. The key variable, I suspect, is the etheric density of the men of each age. As you know, ether, in essence, negates dynamis. Harboring high concentrations of ether, we ancients cannot readily manipulate dynamis, nor be manipulated by it. Therefore, rather than ourselves, the calamity affected our magics. In contrast, having been sundered, the people of the future are composed of but a fraction of our ether. Thus are they susceptible to the influence of dynamis and its transformative potential. But that would explain only the mechanism, not the cause. Though perhaps,
What is it? Even should it be a hypothesis, we would hear it.
Dynamis is an energy put in motion by feelings. Feelings for which there must first exist a source. A source to which the victims must be attuned. One that harbors the selfsame negative emotions. Elsewise it could not be the agent of such extreme change.
So it wasn't the stagnation of the celestial currents. Someone, or something, is instigating the star's demise.
So, we've a villain on our hands after all. Any idea who or what it could be?
The celestial currents comprise the outermost layer of the star's ether, encasing it like a protective sphere. According to your tale, it was where the currents were weakest that the phenomena first manifested. If the inciting factor came from without Aetheris, then its effects would first be seen in those locations.
Greetings. Can you hear me?
Hmm? Hello?
Do not be alarmed. I mean you no harm. I wish only to hear your words, share your feelings, know your thoughts. May we please be friends?
Meteion. What is it?
Executing scheduled task, suspending individual self and connecting to shared consciousness. Connection established. Commencing status report.
It hurts, it hurts! It hurts!
So hot, so cold, so sad. I don't understand. Make it stop. Please, make it stop.
Steady, Meteion. Steady.
So scared, so lonely. The pain, it's too much. Why? Why do we? They hurt. Hate. This is wrong. All wrong.
She's gone? But how?
Uh-oh.
She has altered her etheric density in order to blend in with her surroundings, an ability for avoiding confrontation.
Most effective. Frustratingly so. I can't see her either. Not even a trace.
Yep.
Stay away. Please. This is wrong. My mistake. So please.
Mm.
Are you all right? In your mind? No. We only heard her speak the instant before she vanished.
Of course. When communicating without words, Meteion also employs Dynamis. That would explain why you were able to hear her, when we could not.
Then you are our best chance of finding her. Follow her voice and try to track her down.
Yes, sir.
Hindered though we may be, let us split up and search as well.
Dun, 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 dun. Meteon! Where are you? Failed to hear her voice. She must be elsewhere. Okay. It seeps into my mind, our voices reporting. No, no! Hermes mustn't hear them. I have to run, to hide. Meteon's anguished voice grows distant as the source seems to flee down the slope. Meteon, baby, my baby, come back. It's gonna be okay. You strain to catch even the faintest whisper, but fail to hear Meteon's voice. She must be elsewhere. Greetings and salutations. Commencing report. Oh no, we can't tell them that. We must run far away. Please, don't follow me. Meteon's anguished voice fades as you sense her climbing to the top of the ridge. It's the new "We're in trouble" music. Faintest whisper, she must be somewhere else. How did it come to this? Is this the reason we traveled to the stars? Why we sought out other life forms? Is this it? Is this the answer? No, it cannot be. It cannot be. Meteon's anguished voice drifts away to the south. No, leave me alone. I don't want to fight you. Fuck off, bro. Compiling report for dissemination to Hermes and all people of Atheris. Processing expedition data. Preparing profiles on intelligent civilizations. Formulating answers to the question. Finalizing report. No, Dwashe, you mustn't listen. It's wrong. It's all wrong. Meteon's anguished voice flees towards the lake. Any sign of Meteon? Panicked and confused, which will make it all the more difficult to predict her movements. Hermes, what do you make of this situation? The Meteor are linked to a single mind, a shared consciousness which connects them across any distance. I suspect something has happened which disrupted its usual harmony. How might we access this shared consciousness of theirs? Much as you would approach any sentient being directly. In the Meteor's case, that means speaking to any incarnation within physical reach. I know, right? So, unless we can track down the Meteon we just lost, we have no means to communicate with them. No way of knowing what befell her sisters, no way to provide directions or guidance. Then we had best set our musings aside and concentrate on how we might find her. Oh, my dear Meteon, what did you witness out there that frightened you so? I guess, yeah, it kind of was a secret research project, so no one had any idea that he was doing this. Why do you seek to keep it from us? How terrible could it possibly be? Correct me if I'm wrong, but Meteon renders herself invisible by matching her etheric density to that of her surroundings, does she not? If so, could we not then disrupt her concealment with a surfeit of ether, much how Emmet Selk solidified your presence when first we met you? Don't be absurd. I can hardly channel ether to a recipient whose whereabouts are hidden from me. Which is why we must all work together. Dwache will continue the search in the same manner as before, but this time with you in tow. Once she ascertains Meteon's likely location, you proceed to reveal our wayward familiar with a swift ethereal downpour. Very clever, and thankfully she has made herself easier to capture by fleeing towards Lethe. Assuming she is made visible, it should prove no great feat to herd her into a corner. Then we have our plan. Dwache and Emmet Selk will be our tracker and trapper, respectively, while we others predict and obstruct Meteon's avenues of escape. Emmet Selk and I will keep an eye on each other's ether to help coordinate our efforts. Let us be about it. Well, it seems we are partners for the time being. Let us return to where we last saw Meteon and pick up the trail from there. I will keep myself in a state of preparedness, ready to rain down ether at a moment's notice, meaning it falls to you to keep the way clear. He's accompanying us. Yay! Don't care, plus having fun, plus playing. That's what I'm saying to him. You calm your mind, your senses questing for any hint of Meteon's presence. But you fail to hear her voice. She must be elsewhere. Nothing this way. We try another route then. Calm your mind, searching for the presents. Why can't I fly? Are my functions being restricted? Hide. Yes, I'll just have to hide then, where no one can find me. Michan's anguished voice heads towards the water's edge. She went into the lake, as if this wasn't tiresome enough. Well, at least that open expanse should make her easier to find. We won't lose her this time. Okay, sir. What do you have to say about this? We should be able to reach the bottom of this drop by climbing down the rocks at the water's edge. Do not even think about dragging me over the falls. Final days or no, if I end up drenched from head to toe, I swear I will feed you to a remora. Okay. Splash. No! Leave me alone. Not here. I'm not here. Please. By that rock is she? Very well. What? Why can't I hide? There's no need to run, Meteon. Tuashe, what are you saying? Everything is so faint. I'm sorry, I'm not strong enough. Stay away, I'm begging you. Don't make me say it. It will break him. His poor, fragile heart. Oh yeah, absolutely. Now we have a chance. Once the others are in position, the two of us can herd her into their midst. Come on, baby girl. Is this naos not in use? It seems to have been left to the mercy of the elements. Either way, it bears no trace of Meteon's essence. We move on. There, I see her. Come on, Meteon. Ooh, it's so spishy.
Aha! Give chase. We shall herd her into the shelter.
I know, right? That's what's so cool about it.
Please, Mission. We must speak.
I'm sorry, Hermes. I'm so sorry. If someone can hear these words, then please. Please protect them. Protect them all. Individual self-suspended. Connection with shared consciousness stable. Our survey is complete. We shall now report our findings. All units safely arrived at their respective destinations. Seeking answers to Hermes' question, we attempted to make contact with the intelligent denizens of each star. Results are as follows, in order of numerical code. Enna. Traces of civilization found. Structures believed to have served as domiciles. No extant life forms detected. Dio. Ruined remnants of buildings scattered across star, surface of which is encased in ice. Presence of life could not be verified. Tria. Evidence of large population centers, akin to cities recovered. No extant life forms found, only their lingering essence. Tessera. Edifices surmised to be abandoned residences found. No extant life forms detected. Deadly plague or extreme environmental degradation likely to have led to mass extinction.
They are all dead.
Octo. Star found in state of violent conflict. Contact successfully made with inhabitants, but deployment of weapons of mass destruction resulted in total annihilation of local population shortly thereafter. Inea. Star is a barren desert. No identifiable flora found. Bones of living beings resembling men discovered beneath sands, but determination regarding their intelligence inconclusive.
Remind me, Hermes, what exactly was the question you entrusted to Meteion?
I tasked her with asking what others live for. What gives their lives meaning.
Did you consider what may happen if the premise of the question is flawed? To be able to answer it, one must be living and desire to continue doing so. But if Meteion finds no living beings in the course of her journey, or none who desire to live, what then? What answers would she derive from their silence?
Meteion, enough. Suspend your mission and return hither at once.
Decapente. Local civilization once flourished under auspices of higher power. Said power later laid waste to civilization in fit of rage. Upon revealing this to me, entity elected to self-terminate in lieu of providing answer to question. No other intelligent life forms found.
Turning a deaf ear, are we? We are taking Meteion back to Amarot. As I understand, we will need her if we are to bring back all of her sisters.
Yes. Meteion. It isn't right, is it? It isn't right to turn away from the answer. Even if the answer is pain. Even if we aberrations must scream ourselves hoarse to be heard.
Me too.
Aye. Whatever answers we find, I will not dismiss them out of hand. These words I said to you, and I will hold myself to them.
Wow! Look at that.
What is the meaning of this?
You cannot take Meteion. Not until she has finished her report.
Awesome design.
All else must wait.
You fool!
Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Why, Hermes? Why could you not leave well enough alone? Will these answers assuage the pain you feel when a creation is returned to ether? Had you never cast your accursed question to the distant stars, you may have one day learned to be at peace upon this one. Hermes has headed to Catesis. Considering the expansive dimensions of the place, even we may have a difficult time locating his ether. All I can say is that he entered from the rooftop and likely arrived upon the uppermost point of the facility. So, do we pursue him? Of course we pursue him. No matter what Hermes might be thinking, Meteion is a potential threat that needs to be brought under our control. Convocation's duty is to safeguard this star The Convocation's duty to safeguard this star takes precedence over any personal stake in the matter. Venat, Doche. It is clear we stand on a precipice, but we have yet to determine beyond a shadow of a doubt that Meteion's is the hand which tips us over the edge. Nevertheless, if we are to learn the truth of the final days, we must give chase. And even if neither Hermes nor Meteion is ultimately responsible, we cannot leave them to suffer this torment alone. Agreed on all counts. To Catesis Hyperborea we go. Oh, you put me on the island. Thank you. Oh. I have time to get this. I know. I guess they're both kind of inspired by Greek myth and stuff, you know? Similar vibes, I love it. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying both. We need it. What have we here? Excuse me, has something happened inside Catesis? Mistress Venat, I'm so glad you're here. No one knows what prompted it, but the alarm was sounded and Catesis put into a state of alert. Procedure dictated that we evacuate immediately, and we have yet to investigate further. This is Hermes' doing, obviously. And what does this state of alert entail exactly? A field of dampening magic is draped over the entire facility, usually in response to escaped entities and the like. Catesis scholars and observers are unaffected, but everything else, and everyone else, is weakened to a fraction of their usual capabilities. Then consider us forewarned. We do, however, have urgent business with Chief Hermes, and must enter the premises regardless. We can always use more bird people. That said, if Hermes is willing to enact such measures, I wonder what other obstacles he has seen fit to drop in our path. With that enfeebling spell in place, we're not like to be at our fighting best. And I was hardly an effective combatant to begin with. I've little to offer beyond my ethereal vision. Then you will put that talent of yours to good use. You were fairly skilled at spotting weaknesses, if I recall. Fairly skilled? Now you've gone and raised everyone's expectations. You all need only make the most of your strength, and I will fill in the gaps as required. I was once Azem, after all. 'Twas my job to rise to the occasion, be that as defender, aggressor, or healer. Oh my god, the boyfriends are fighting! I feel better about my lack of prowess already. And you, Emetzel, can impress us with your arcane majesty. You lob potent spells as easily as breathing, but can also channel that power into a protective manner if you so choose, yes? Yeah. Well, yes, should the situation call for it. Excellent. That should cover us on all fronts. Yeah, so what that means is Fana is an all-rounder, can either be tank, healer, or DPS, and Emmet can be either tank or DPS. Your tale led us here, Dweshe. 'Tis only right that you lead us now. No matter what lies ahead, we will win through to Hermes and Michon. And then we will face the future together. Oh man. Catesis Hyperborea now accessible. Looking at the time, absolutely not. But I do want to show you a cool little thing first. Is that you actually get a party with these guys. Yeah. And I think depending on who you choose first, Vana will be... Yeah.
Let's get this over with.
Either the tank or the DPS. Or the healer if you're playing as a DPS. I just think it's so fun. And their descriptions are all-rounder, which is also what Grahatia has, I think. Soulseer and the third seat. Very interesting. Oh, definitely. God, I mean... He is more handsome than he was as Solus, I'll give you that. But... I don't know, I think certain fictional men are very handsome. I don't think he's that handsome. I think Hythlodaeus is very handsome. I mean, he's not ugly, but he's fine, you know? Oh, man. He's so pleasant looking. I could look at him all day. And obviously Vana is... What? Yes, ma'am. Aw, she's just a little bit taller than Dweshe. I know, right? Alright, let me switch over to stream ending, because I'm not gonna do a whole dungeon and 10, 20 fucking minutes of cutscenes in 20 minutes. Yep. So... Oh boy, oh boy. Next time's streaming should be on... I think just regular Monday stream again. So I have no other time, I have no time this week left. My last week at work though, so I can stream it whenever I want next time. And yeah. Last week. 3 more days. I'm gonna be okay. Yeah, Saturday's my last work day. I'm excited. I know, it's gonna be the best. So yeah. I just want to thank you both for being here. It's so funny. I thought, yeah, Myth is probably gonna send Faith a message about MILF, and then 3 seconds later, you joined the chat. Just whenever I want to speak to you, I just have to mention MILF. So predictable. Yeah. Faith is like a wizard. They arrive exactly when they mean to. Well, I'm glad you were here. Thank you. And I'm glad you were here too, Myth. So yeah, next Monday it's gonna be the conclusion of the Elpis arc. There's no fucking way we're not gonna finish this, because I think there's there's lots to consider. Yeah, there's one more mission after this, so. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Get your tissues ready for next week. That's all I'm saying. So, thank you both for being here. Good stream. And I will see you on Monday. Goodbye, goodbye. Thank you, love you, bye.